Hi, this is Shinde NM. Previous lecture we studied non-uniform circular motion and tangential acceleration. Today we are going to study kinematical equations. Kinematical equations. Now, the kinematical equations are kinematical equation for linear motion are exactly analogous to the kinematic equations for angular motion. Angular motion. Now, in linear motion, we know path of the particle is straight line. In linear motion, path of the particle is straight line. Initially, the particle is at point A. Its initial velocity u is equal to 0 when it is at rest. That means when the particle is at rest, its initial velocity u is equal to 0. And when we apply external unbalanced force to this particle, or can say body, it reaches up to point B. By covering displacement S. Here the velocity of the body is v. We call this velocity as the final velocity of a body after some time t. Now see, here velocity is equal to 0, but here velocity is not equal to 0. That means due to this external unbalanced force, velocity of the body changes, and as velocity of the body changes with respect to time, acceleration is produced. Now this acceleration is called as linear acceleration and denoted by letter or symbol A. So here u be the initial velocity of the body which we taken, v be the final velocity, a be linear acceleration, t be the time instant, and s be linear displacement, These are the symbols as far as linear motion of the body is concerned. Now, the first kinematic equation for linear motion is the final velocity of the body v is equal to the sum of initial velocity and the product of acceleration and time instant, that is v is equal to u plus at. Now the second kinematic equation for linear motion is s is equal to, s means displacement, and this displacement is equal to sum of product of initial velocity and time instant, and half of product of acceleration and square of time period, square of time instant, sorry. That is S is equal to ut plus 1 half at square. And third kinematic equation is square of final velocity v square is equal to sum of square of initial velocity and twice product of acceleration and displacement. That is v square is equal to u square plus twice as. These are the three kinematical equations as far as linear motion of the body is concerned. Now, these three kinematical equations are exactly analogous to the kinematic equations for angular motion. Now, suppose this is a particle which performs angular motion or circular motion. Can say this is a particle, and this will be the path. Initially particle is at point A, where its initial angular velocity will be omega 0. Now, after some time t, same particle reaches at point B. Here, final angular velocity will be omega. Now, if we join these two vectors with the center, they make angle theta with each other, and this theta is nothing but angular displacement. Here angular velocity, initial angular velocity omega 0, here final angular velocity omega. That means velocity of the particle or body is not same, changes with respect to time. That means here also acceleration is produced. This acceleration is called as angular acceleration and denoted by alpha. So here omega 0 b initial angular velocity, omega b final angular velocity, alpha b angular acceleration, then t be the time instant, and theta be angular displacement. Now the first kinematic equation for angular motion is omega is equal to omega 0 plus alpha into t. See, here the final linear velocity v, here final angular velocity omega, here u, here omega 0, initial linear velocity, here initial angular velocity, plus here a into t, here alpha into t. That means the first kinematic equation for angular motion is exact and analogous to the first kinematic equation for linear motion, and similarly second one and third one. So we can write directly theta is equal to omega 0 t plus 1 half alpha into t square, and third omega square is equal to omega 0 square plus twice alpha into theta, This is about the kinematical equations. The kinematic equations for linear motion are same as or analogous as to the kinematic equations for angular motion. Okay, this is about kinematical equations. Now the next article of the topic is characteristics of circular motion. Characteristics of circular motion. Characteristics of circular motion. Now, there are two characteristics as far as circular motion of the particle is concerned. The first characteristics of circular motion is circular motion is an accelerated motion. Is an accelerated motion. Accelerated motion. Why circular motion is called as accelerated motion? Since the direction of velocity changes continuously. Since the direction of velocity changes continuously, and due to this, circular motion is an accelerated motion. So the reason of accelerated motion is since the direction of velocity changes continuously. Okay, and the second one, circular motion is an periodic motion. It is an periodic motion. We know periodic motion. For example, now suppose this is an sun. This will be sun, and around which Earth is rotates. Now suppose this will be Earth. Earth is moving around the sun. We know to complete one rotation around the sun, Earth required time period as 365 days. 365 days. After completion of 365 days, same motion repeat by Earth around the sun. So after equal interval of time, this motion repeats. Hence such type of motion is called as periodic motion. That means the motion which repeat itself after equal interval of time called as periodic motion. Okay, now suppose instead of the Earth we have to take a particle which performs circular motion. Now after time interval t, this particle repeats same path. So circular motion is an periodic motion. It is an periodic motion. The reason of periodic motion is since the motion repeats after equal equal interval of time. These are the two characteristics as far as circular motion of the particle is concerned. Now the next point of the next article of the topic is kinematics of circular motion. Kinematics of circular motion. Students, we know while describing linear motion, we used the symbols u for initial velocity, u for initial linear velocity, v for final linear velocity, a for linear acceleration, and which is the rate of change of linear velocity with respect to time. Acceleration. While describing angular motion, we use omega 0 for initial angular velocity, omega for final angular velocity, and alpha is equal to d omega by dt, that is the rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time, is called as angular acceleration. Angular acceleration. U with the initial linear velocity, v with the final linear velocity, and a is equal to dv by dt, linear acceleration. And for angular motion, omega 0 initial angular velocity, omega with the final angular velocity, and alpha is equal to d omega by dt with the angular acceleration. The relation between velocities. Here, velocities means linear velocity and angular velocity. Relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. In magnitude form, first of all, we have to see relation between velocities in magnitude form. V is equal to R into omega. V is equal to R into omega. That is, the linear velocity is equal to product of radius into angular velocity. Linear velocity V is equal to R into omega. This is the relation between velocities in magnitude form. Now, in vector form, how to write relation between them in vector form? V bar is equal to omega bar cross R bar. Omega bar cross R bar. See, here V bar with the direction of linear velocity vector, omega bar direction of angular velocity vector, and R bar with position vector. R bar be the position vector. Okay. Now, the direction of omega bar. The direction of omega bar is always perpendicular to the plane of paper on which particle performs circular motion. Okay. Now suppose this is an plane on which particle performs circular motion, and this will be the direction of angular velocity vector. angular velocity vector. That means the direction of angular velocity is perpendicular to the plane on which particle performs circular motion. Okay. Now, suppose the particle, this is the particle which performs circular motion like that in anti-clockwise direction. Let A be the initial position and B be the final position of the particle. Let O be the circle, O be the center of circle performed by the particle during its motion. Now, if we draw the vector joining the center and positions, these two vectors makes an angle theta with each other. Here, this is an plane. This will be plane. Now, the direction of omega bar is like that. On board, it is vertically upward like that. The direction of angular velocity vector omega bar is given by right hand thumb rule. Right hand thumb rule, and we know the right hand thumb rule. Right hand thumb rule. We know this is an right hand, and this will be considered. This will be the axis of rotation. Now the axis of rotation to be held in your right hand, and the fingers are curled around it. Fingers are curled around it, and thumb outstretched. Thumb outstretched. Now, see like that. These curled fingers gives direction of particle performing circular motion. Direction of particle performing circular motion. Then outstretched thumb gives direction of angular velocity vector. Gives direction of angular velocity vector. Okay. The statement of right hand thumb rule is that imagine the axis of rotation to be held in your right hand with fingers curled around it and thumb outstretched. If the curled fingers gives the direction of the particle performing circular motion, then outstretched thumb gives direction of angular velocity vector. Okay. Right hand thumb rule. Now the statement of right hand thumb rule. Imagine the axis of rotation to be held in your right hand with the fingers curled around it and thumb outstretched. If the curled fingers gives direction of particle performing circular motion, then the outstretched thumb gives direction of angular velocity vector. This is the statement of right hand thumb rule. Once again, the statement of right hand thumb rule. Imagine the axis of rotation to be held in your right hand with the fingers curled around it and thumb outstretched. If the curled fingers gives the direction of particle performing circular motion, then the outstretched thumb gives direction of angular velocity vector. Here the direction of angular velocity vector omega bar is given by right hand thumb rule. If the particle is moving in anticlockwise direction, the direction of omega bar is vertically upward on the board. And if the particle performing circular motion in clockwise direction, at that time the direction of omega bar is in vertically downward on the board. Okay. On the last point, sub point of the article is time period. We know time period, definition of time period. The time taken by particle to complete one rotation or revolution is called as time period. The time taken by the particle to complete one revolution is called as time period. And the time period is denoted by T is equal to 2 pi by omega. We already studied in 11th standard. T is equal to 2 pi by omega. Therefore, omega is equal to 2 pi divided by T. And we know the reciprocal of time period is nothing but frequency. So, we can write omega is equal to 2 pi n. This gives the relation between angular velocity and the frequency of particle performing circular motion. Omega is equal to 2 pi n. This is about the kinematics of circular motion. In this article, we studied the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity in magnitude form and in vector form. V is equal to r omega and v bar is equal to omega bar cross r bar. Right hand thumb rule and the time period.